Can I show you? You think, are you okay if I show you a little bit of what I mean about, pull up a chart and show you a little bit of what I mean about reading between the bars? I'd like to show it to you if you don't mind. I'm looking at a 15-minute chart here. So every bar you see represents 15 minutes of trading. And the time frame we look at really doesn't matter. There's a lot more to the eye than this red bar with a tail on top and one tail on the bottom. I don't know if you see the tail on top of it, right? And you see a tail at the bottom of it. You've got three parts of this bar. You've got a body, you've got a top, you've got a tail on top, and a tail. I don't know if you can see that on the bottom. What I teach my traders to see is to look inside of the bar, to see the bar differently than this. So you see, at first, this bar, if I can show you, this bar was green. So I'm going to erase the part that happened second, and we're going to draw the bar in as it occurred. So at first, the bar opens here. This is the open for the day. You understand? And then the bar moves up. And this bar, at this point, is a solid green bar. Now that's hidden after the fact, but that is what it looks like. Do you understand? That is what the bar looks like if you are watching this 15-minute bar form. You first see it open and start to move up as if it's strong. And then something interesting happens. It begins, that green begins to eat itself. It completely disappears. Now, the disappearance, let's look at this carefully. The disappearance of that green, the green is a move upward, okay? Remember, the green is, the color of up is green, but the color of down is red. So red covers or paints over on top of the green. So you have green first, and then the red paints on top of the green. But what I teach my traders to look at is to look at them side by side. So instead of seeing the red on top of the green, what if you looked at the red and you saw it form next to the green? Because there really are two movements. Movement one is up, green. Movement two is down, red. So I would rather you not look at them as one, to look at them as two. Now, my traders know that two tails are not only more powerful than one tail, but they are unquestionably powerful. So two tails side by side, they're orders of magnitude more powerful than one tail. All right. And so now we've got an X-ray view of this bar. It's not one bar, it's now two bars. Now, here's something I want you to understand. Check this out. The most recent move, if you've got two moves back to back, side by side, you give the benefit of the doubt to the most recent move. So the first move was green, right? But the second move, the most recent one, is red. So now red dominates. Which of the two moves, if they're both equal, you always give the benefit of the doubt to the most recent one. Boom! You're going to play that one. Now, not only is the red equal to the green here, but the red goes further, let's make this a little thicker, and begins to paint red bigger. So the red starts to outweigh and outsize the green. When you look at this bar, you don't really see that unless you know how to peer inside of the bar. And even if it's after the fact, my traders will see this as green up first, right? Red down, and the red kept going. You see? The red kept going all the way down to the bottom. Now let's draw it in. Let's keep the green there. All right? Let's keep the green there. The green stays, but the red, you see, matches the green first and then keeps going to be even more powerful. Now, what happens from the bottom of this red? Because at this point, it's a solid red bar. If you look carefully, it bounces all the way. Look at what I'm doing here, people. You see the space between this bar and the red bar? There's a white space. Well, my traders that really get this, they don't see a white space. They see a green from the bottom of the red grows up all the way, and then they see red take over again and fall back. And so this is reading. I just wanted to give you a quick example of reading between the lines and reading inside of the bar. This is a little bit more artistic. This is a much higher level of viewing market activity. You understand? And so ultimately what you have here, guys, is this: up, down, up, down, up, down. Now, most people can't see that movement. They can't look at that pattern and see the ups, the downs, the ups, the downs, because they can't read between the notes. They can read the notes, but they can't read between the notes, and they can't see inside of the notes. And so my traders then start to put things together, like once you get something big like this, let's paint the whole thing in. Once you get something big in red like that, what do we do with the big thing? What do we do with the big thing? Every time we get something big, what do we do? Tell them. Tell them. They're going to type in the comments. They're going to type here. Do you understand? Divide half and 1/3. These are my traders. If they're coming up with that answer, they're my traders. They're part of the family. All right. You see that? Cut it in half, cut it in thirds. So I'm going to show you what that is. It's powerful. So you see this big fat red bar that most people don't see it that way, but my traders would see it that way. Okay. Now, whenever we get something more larger than normal, we will divide. You saw my traders say divide by half and thirds, half and thirds, half and thirds. So let's do this. So we're going to divide right in half, and we're going to divide in thirds. Now, this creates 4 zones, right? Zone 1. I'm going to do it over here. Yeah, I can do it over here. So this creates 4 zones, right? Zone 1 at the bottom, zone 2, zone 3, and zone 4. So when your bounces come, now watch the bounce. The bounce comes up right to half. Remember, that's the halfway mark. If you can't get through the halfway mark, the drop will make a new low. This is what my traders know. Boom, there's the new low. If the bounce back up the big red cannot penetrate 1/2, you're going to a new low. So take a note of that. So the bounce goes right to the half and boom, collapses to a new low. That's money. Do you understand? That's moolah. That is ducats. That's bread. That's paper. That's racks. That's plata, platica. What else is what other words for money? Come on, talk to me. All of your cultures. What is that? What is that? That's pay. That's bread, man. That's bread. Talk to me. What are the words for money is that? Talk to me. Lands, eons, pinque. Oh, I love this. Dinero, dinerito. Yes. What else? Guap. I love that. Guap. That's right. Cream. The bag. Yes. Guap. Cheddar. I love it. That's what we're talking about. Guys, these concepts, if you followed my work for any period of time, right, you'll know that I'm constantly telling you that this is not rocket science. Trading is it's almost primitive. If you think about it, like, it's not like trying to learn how to fix or build a Ferrari engine. Do you know that the technical expertise and all the moving parts and the engineering ingenuity behind building a freaking Ferrari? And listen, I used to have four Ferraris. Do you understand the complexity of that? This is not that. Trading is not that. Trading is this. When I say it's primitive, like, let's look at the sophistication that's needed to understand how to build a Ferrari engine versus that's special and very complex versus the market. Up, down, sideways, up, down, sideways. That's it. That's it. You know, up, down, sideways, up, down, sideways. It's got three things that it just does over and over again. It goes up sometimes it goes down, sometimes it goes sideways, and that's it. It's not like it has 2,114 different things to do. It goes up sometimes, down sometimes, sideways sometimes. And so if you start from there and understand some very basic but powerful concepts, like, if something drops big and does not bounce more than 50%, get ready for the next drop to go lower. Do you understand how that's like an ATM machine? Do you understand this? I just gave you an ATM machine that will pay you almost every time. Not every time, but almost every time, forever. Do you understand that it's like, without ever making a deposit, you have an ATM card, you can just pull money out of the markets every time this happens? You could literally just wait for something big to crack and then wait for the first bounce. And if that first bounce does not go back more than halfway, get ready for a new low. Just that one thing, without anything else, will pay you forever. No matter where you go, no matter what market, no matter what time frame, no matter what instrument you play, it doesn't matter. It works across the world in everything. But Oliver, I play the Indian stock market. Doesn't matter. But Oliver, I play cryptos. Doesn't matter. But I play options, Oliver. Doesn't matter. But Oliver, I play the 2-minute chart. Yes. But I play the daily chart. Yes. What about Forex, Oliver? Yes. Guys, if there were a market for trading back mother-in-laws, guys, wouldn't that be great? If we could trade our mother-in-laws back and forth. I want that one. I don't want this one. The 50% bounce rule would work. I don't care if it's Cabbage Patch Dolls. I don't care what you're trading. These concepts I teach you are universal. They're built into the fabric of the entire freaking universe. How many people in the world, would see this? Now you see it. You see the sharp drop, the green bounce up to the 50% mark, and then the drop to a new low. You see that 1, 2, 3 pattern. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You see it. You understand? But most people can't see it, especially when it's like this. You see what I just did? You see? It's very different. But once you know how to see in the bars, between the bars, behind the bars, you become elite. You take yourself to a whole different level. Now I ask you, is there anyone you've ever heard on the internet, anyone you ever heard on YouTube, anyone who's ever had you look that deeply? No. You know why? Because there are very few, if any, people who have 40, coming on 44 years of playing the markets virtually every single day of my freaking life. But Oliver, the weekends, you can't play the markets on the weekends. Well, I studied the markets on the weekends, so practically every single day of my life for 44 years.